Have you ever heard a story so powerful it feels like it could shake mountains? A story of a baby set adrift in a river, only to be raised in the palace of the very king who wanted him gone. This is the epic tale of Prophet Moses, or Musa, peace be upon him, a story of incredible faith, courage, and divine intervention that has echoed through millennia. Imagine the time of the pharaohs in ancient Egypt. A tyrant cruel and powerful ruled the land. He had a terrifying dream, and fearing a prophecy that a child from the Israelites would overthrow him, he issued a horrifying decree. All newborn Israelite boys were to be killed. It was into this world of fear and oppression that Moses was born. His mother, Jochebed, was filled with terror for her son's life. But her faith in God was stronger than her fear. In a moment of pure trust, guided by divine inspiration, she placed her infant son in a basket and set him afloat on the waters of the mighty Nile River. Can you imagine the heartbreak and hope in that single act? She let go, trusting that a higher power had a plan for her child. The basket didn't drift away into oblivion. Instead, the currents guided it directly to the palace of the Pharaoh himself. And who should find the baby? None other than Pharaoh's own wife, Asya. Her heart melted at the sight of the infant. Despite Pharaoh's decree and his hatred for the Israelites, she convinced him to adopt the child. And so, in a stunning twist of fate, Moses, the boy destined to challenge the throne, was raised as a prince of Egypt, right under the nose of his greatest enemy. He grew up with all the privileges of royalty, learning the ways of the court, but his heart remained connected to his true people. As a young man, Moses was strong and just. One day, he witnessed an Egyptian soldier mistreating an Israelite. Rushing to defend his kinsman, Moses struck the soldier, and in an unintended blow, the man died. Overcome with remorse and fearing for his life, Moses fled Egypt. He journeyed far into the desert to a land called Midian. There he found refuge, a family, and a new life as a shepherd. For years he lived in peace, tending his flock under the vast desert sky. This time in solitude was a period of preparation, shaping him for the immense task that lay ahead. One fateful night, while tending his sheep near a mountain called Tur, Moses saw something extraordinary, a bush engulfed in flames, yet not burning. As he drew closer, a voice boomed from the fire, a voice that was not of this world. It was God, Allah, speaking to him directly. In this sacred moment, Moses was chosen. He was given a monumental mission to return to Egypt, confront the most powerful man on earth, and demand that he free the Israelites from their bondage. God bestowed upon Moses two powerful miracles to prove his divine authority. First, his staff would transform into a slithering serpent. Second, his hand, when placed inside his cloak, would emerge shining with a brilliant white light. Armed with these signs and with his brother Aaron as his spokesman, a nervous but determined Moses set off to face the tyrant he once called father. Confronting Pharaoh was no easy task. Moses and Aaron stood before the arrogant king and his court of sorcerers. They delivered God's message, "Let my people go." Pharaoh, full of pride, mocked them. He demanded a display of power. When Moses threw down his staff and it became a real living serpent, and Pharaoh's sorcerers were stunned. They threw their own ropes and staffs, which, through their magic, appeared as snakes. But the serpent of Moses devoured all of their illusions, proving that his power was not mere magic, but a miracle from the Almighty. Still, Pharaoh's heart was hardened. He refused to release the Israelites. And so, a series of divine plagues were sent upon Egypt, each one more severe than the last. The Nile turned to blood, swarms of frogs and locusts descended, livestock perished, and darkness enveloped the land. With each plague, Pharaoh would promise to free the people, only to go back on his word the moment the affliction was lifted. His arrogance was his downfall. After the final, most devastating plague, a heartbroken and defeated Pharaoh finally relented. He told the Israelites to leave. Under the cover of night, Moses led his people, hundreds of thousands of men, women, and children, out of Egypt, escaping centuries of slavery. Their journey to freedom had begun, but their ordeal was far from over. As the Israelites reached the edge of the Red Sea, they looked back in terror. Pharaoh, regretting his decision, was pursuing them with his entire army, chariots and all. They were trapped, the sea before them, the enemy behind them. It seemed like the end. The people cried out in despair, but Moses' faith did not waver. He stood before the vast waters and raised his staff, as commanded by God. And then the impossible happened. A mighty wind began to blow, and the waters of the Red Sea parted, creating a dry path right through the middle of the ocean with towering walls of water on either side. It was a miracle on an unimaginable scale. Moses led his people safely across the seabed. When the last Israelite had reached the other side, Pharaoh and his army charged into the path, determined to recapture them. But as soon as they were in the middle, Moses raised his staff once more. The walls of water crashed down, swallowing the entire Egyptian army. Pharaoh, the tyrant who claimed to be a god, met his end in the very sea that had parted for the faithful. On that day, the Israelites were truly free, their oppressors vanquished not by a human army, but by the power of God. The journey of Moses and his people continued in the desert. It was there, on the sacred Mount Sinai, that Moses received another divine gift for humanity, the 10 Commandments, inscribed on stone tablets. These were the core principles of morality and law, a guide for how to live a just and righteous life. The story of Moses is a powerful testament to the idea that with unwavering faith, even the most impossible odds can be overcome. It's a story of courage in the face of tyranny, of patience through immense hardship, and of the ultimate triumph of good over evil. It teaches us that true leadership comes from humility and trust in a higher purpose, and that miracles can happen when we hold on to our belief, even when we're standing at the edge of a raging sea. This timeless saga reminds us that no matter how dark the situation seems, there is always hope. It's a beacon for justice, a call for freedom, and a profound lesson in the enduring power of faith. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey through history. What part of Moses' story inspires you the most? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more stories that shape our world. See you in the next one.